Okay, so we're gonna start, and we'll just continue to let people in and join, and they will join on mute. So I think David's gonna be in control. He's gonna fly the ship, and I'll pass over to him in a minute to tell you how things are going to run. But firstly, a huge welcome from me. Nice to see lots of friendly faces, and some people I've not seen for quite a while. For those of you who know me a little bit, I've been rather busy recently. I'm Sarah from an accountancy, for those of you who don't know me. And yeah, we've been rather busy very recently. So I'm very grateful that David is organised with the format of subs, because I think I was emailing him at silly o'clock this morning with here's a presentation. Can you take control and take charge? But for those of you who haven't been to a subs meeting or subs Stockport meeting in the past, we launched subs Stockport in January of this year, at the end of January. And we had 2 meetings hosted by the great team at Gorvins. And it was really, really well received. And we were just getting ready for our March meeting, and looking forward to that very much. It was all going to be about going for growth and how to grow your business, because the theme had been about goal setting and setting yourself up for success, really. And then we all know what happened. So we took our March meeting online, and I took a panel of my partners in the Sub Stockport group, who are very experienced in the world of finance and HR. And we basically did a panel Q&A and answered all of your questions about the support and the funding available and what to do and how to do it. And it was really, really well received. But for today, what we really want to do is get past the shock of the current situation and get into certainly a new temporary normal and start to look forward. So the theme today is about, well, not really about surviving, but about thriving through not just this crisis, not just this current crisis, but there are things that people can do to really succeed in any sort of challenging times, any sort of uncertain times. So that's what we're going to look at today. So my talking point for today in this breakout is the very best thing about the last 6 weeks. So it's kind of a bit of a, let's get past the negativity. We all know that we've had challenges, and we all know that there have been stressful times, but share amongst yourselves what the absolutely best thing about the last 6 weeks has been for you, and whether that's a personal thing for you personally, or whether that's for your business. That's absolutely down to you, but hopefully at least it will get people chatting. It will break the ice. It will allow you to get to know a little bit about one another.
Okay. Okay, everyone's coming back, and we got Sarah back as well. We have.
Fantastic. That was great. I got to speak to some people in a lot more detail, and people that I've not met before. So I hope everybody enjoyed. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed that. You thought that was really good. Yay! Excellent. Good. So we've got coming up. We've got Stephen McPhee, our professional sportsman or ex-professional sportsman. I like winding him up and dropping him in it there. From Minuteman Press and Chile Hume, we've got Sue Fernandez from Instilled, David Chapman of Utilities Warehouse, Sharon Seville of First Executive Recruitment, and last but by no means least, we've got Vic Johnson of Enjoy Benefits. So Stephen, over to you.
Morning everyone, Steve McPhee from Minuteman Press in Cheadle. We're a full service print marketing company. Literally print on anything to help promote and grow your business. Things are a little bit quiet at the moment, but what business is coming in is essential print, but people are looking at the marketing in a different way, because everything's gone online, social media, email marketing. Another great way of getting in front of your customers is direct mail. So if you've got a database and you want to send out an advertisement or even just a little thank you letter, we can take that database, print it all, and mail it all at the same time. And it's nice to have that little bit of piece of paper in front of you. Steve McPhee, Minuteman Press.
Thanks, Stephen. Over to Sue.
I've got to find her. Where is she? Oh, she's there. So unmute and spotlight.
Sue Fernandez.
I'm
Morning.
Sue from Infield, and we are a design and web agency based here in Stockport. We create brands and websites that help small to medium-sized businesses engage with their customers online. So, as Stephen said, a lot of people now are changing the way they're doing the marketing, and a lot of people are now sitting down and looking at the marketing that they have got and how that can be improved with a view to, when we do come out of this crisis, how they're going to be best placed for their clients to engage with their customers, whether their products need to change, whether their marketing needs to change, and what messages they're actually going to be putting out there. So we can help with that in a variety of ways. So if you haven't got a website, then now's a really good time to think about getting yourself online. Even the smallest business will need a really strong web presence coming out of this. And also we can do fully managed startup websites. We can do full bespoke custom websites. We also do a full range of content review, support, maintenance and security packages. So if you haven't got that in place for your website, it's really important to do that. So yeah, if you're looking at anything to do with your online marketing, get in touch.
Thanks very much, Sue. David, can you find David?
Where
Pass
is
over
it?
to David Chapman, who will be able to help you out with saving some money, I suspect.
Give us a wave, David. Where are you?
I've just unmuted, so that's fine. Yeah. Good morning, all. Yeah, I help people reduce and manage their household expenses in terms of their bills, insurance. I also do the same for small businesses, and I make things a lot simpler for them, because instead of paying lots of different bills to different companies, you can just have one simple monthly bill, which is super cheap, super simple. And the discount club that I promote, it treats people fairly and ethically, and they don't introduce stealth price rises, so you can be confident that you're going to be getting a fantastic deal moving on into the second and third and fourth years and beyond. So for each customer, there's no hassle, there's no work to do, there's no phone calls to make everything's taken care of. So that's what I do. It's David Chapman at Utility Warehouse.
Thanks very much, David. And I'm hoping that David has found Sharon Seville while you've been chatting.
Nope. Yes.
Come on, get with it.
I've got you there,
Can you
Sharon.
hear me?
Yep.
Hi,
Yeah, hi,
everybody.
Sharon.
I'm Sharon Seville. I am a senior recruitment specialist with 25 years experience recruiting across engineering and manufacturing businesses. I actually have two halves to my business. The first half is First Commercial recruitment, and the team at First Commercial do all general sales and customer service, secretarial and admin, and accounts and finance type recruitment, temporary and permanent. And the second half of my business is what Sarah mentioned, First Executive recruitment, and that's me. And what I do is I source quite hard to find strategic personnel that can add value to businesses at senior levels, and that's just within engineering and manufacturing, and that's interim and permanent recruitment. It is quiet at the moment, but things will turn, and they'll turn reasonably quickly as well. So I'm quite optimistic about the future. But that's me, Sharon Seville. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Sharon. And David, over to Vic, please.
Okay, give us a wave. There we go, Vic. Thank you. You're unmuted and you are now spotlighted.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vic from Enjoy Benefits. My company saves other companies tax and NI on things like cycles and childcare, workplace nursery fees, and a variety of other things. And what we try and encourage is for companies who save those that tax and NI to reinvest that into things like cash plan or private medical insurance or employee assistance programs, so that your staff end up better off and you save tax and NI, so everyone ends up better off. So that's me, Vic. Enjoy Benefits. That's what we do.
Everyone's a winner, eh, Vic?
Absolutely.
David, I'm going to throw one at you because you weren't expecting this one. Please, can you find Becky Shorrock, because our charity partner would just like to very briefly mention something that they've got going on. As I'm sure you can all understand, charities have been terribly hit recently. Not only can they not go out and do their usual fundraising, but they quite understandably, a lot of people are putting their money towards NHS and to other charities who are, and very, very worthy causes who are making, who clearly need the support right now and are very visible. But the smaller charities still need our support. So, David, have you found Becky while I've been chatting?
I have.
Thank you.
Hello. I just wanted to mention, so I work for the charity Supportability. We're a disability charity just based in Hazel Grove. And we've actually just launched a lockdown challenge, which is, I know there's a lot of charities doing similar things, but basically you choose a challenge that you want to do. So it could be absolutely anything you want. It could be sporty, it could be any craft type stuff. And you basically just pay a donation, which is minimum donation will be £10. And you just, send us pictures in. We've put some on social media. And it's just a bit of way to get people engaged and hopefully raise a little bit of money. Like Sarah said, obviously, the smaller charities are, we still have services to cover. So, yeah, and we've had to cancel quite a lot of our events. So we're probably going to be missing out on I think, over 50% of our income for this year for fundraising, which is a massive blow. So if anyone can support, I'll put the link onto our website on the chat to everyone. Thank you.
That's nice. Thanks, Becky. So the learning point for today is about tips for surviving and thriving in challenging times, in uncertain times, and not just in these current times. And I found it really interesting recently, I suppose, stepping back a little bit and observing behaviour and observing how things have happened and how people are reacting and coping. And I'm seeing that some people are coping better than others, quite frankly. And I think that people who are coping better will be in a better position to come out of this positively. So it's made me reflect a little bit on what I think I personally could be doing and that we all could be doing. And one of the other things that I suppose before I jump right in, and maybe this would be covered in my first point, but I think we're also finding that the position that we're in, and I'm not particularly popular for saying this at times, but for those of you that were in our January group, we talked about setting ourselves up for success and the plans that we make and the actions that we take and the goals that we set. And I think we're starting to see that actually at times the actions that we've taken in the past have put us where we are right now. So some people are just in a position to cope a little bit better. But anyway, moving on, here are my top tips for surviving and thriving. And the first and foremost, and it will always be, is that cash is always king. So when times are challenging, cash is always king, and never more so than right now. And we're finding that if you don't have a robust cash flow forecast in your business, and you do have a little bit of time in your hands, make sure that's something that you've got in place. If you don't have a budget for your business, again, make sure that's something you've got in place. I think Janet in our last presentation talked about cash and cash flow. And if anybody would like our cash flow forecasting template, please drop me or Janet a line and we'd be happy to provide you with that. But whenever I had my coaching business, I used to suggest to my clients that really they should live within 50% of their means, whether that's in their business or whether that's personally, and at a minimum within 70% of their means. And those clients, and I know Matt and other financial advisors out there would tell their clients as well that they should never invest more than they can afford to lose. And I think that's a great principle. So if there's one thing that you learn and do differently, perhaps coming out of here, people that we're seeing struggle the most are people that have perhaps been making decisions that are living beyond their means. Again, whether that's in business or whether that is personally. So look at your cash flow forecast, look at what you can learn, and look at what you're paying for that you shouldn't perhaps be paying for, that isn't necessary to pay for. Look at the relationships you've got with your clients and your suppliers and see how you can improve cash in that way. Moving on to number 2, look after yourself. And this is so important. And I know this is an area where I've been guilty of being so being busy and looking after everybody else that I've neglected myself. And when times are challenging, it's never more important than now to really look after yourself. And that's looking after your physical and your mental health, your physical and your mental well-being. Because as the old adage goes, you can't look after others if you don't put your own oxygen mask on first. So make time for yourself, prioritize your health and fitness. Make sure you're getting that daily dose of fresh air and exercise. And actually challenge yourself to do that no matter how tired you are, no matter how difficult it is. I dragged myself out for a run last night after 2 hours sleep and a 12-hour day, and I really didn't want to, but I felt so much better for it and I slept better for it. And we've got people on here. I think Jacqueline Eyre and Susan Lee are on here that can help with meditation, can help with mindset, can help with putting yourself in the right place to be able to look after the others around you. And one of the other things I used to say, which I've just realized I've written down here, remember that whenever what you say to yourself about yourself when you're by yourself is going to have a massive impact on your mental well-being. So number 3, and I'm going to speed up a little bit now, review and reset your goals. In January, we were talking about setting goals and setting big dreams and big plans. And you know what? Times have changed. So have a look at what you reset. And it doesn't mean that you need to completely bin your strategy, but you can reset it, review it, set new goals or delay goals. And those can be personal ones too. You know, that family holiday that you had planned, it might be time now to recognize that it mightn't happen this year. Doesn't mean it can't happen ever. It can be next year. So number 4, routine and structure. And this is really, really important. You know, I know nobody in this call is going to be binging on Netflix every day, but I do know that my 13-year-old would quite happily play FIFA in his pajamas all day long if he had the choice. But it's really, really important to get some routine in your structure in your life. And again, this comes back to point 2 of looking after yourself. Make sure that looking after yourself is in there with that routine and structure. So set out what you need to achieve and do the right things. And if you've got downtime, make a positive use of that downtime. So book that in. Number 5, and this is really important, be grateful, but actually, you know, actively practice gratitude, because the interesting thing here is that the emotion of gratitude, you can't have fear and gratitude both at the same time. You can't hold them both together. So if you can actively practice gratitude, and you know, I'd go so far as to make that part of your routine, make it part of your structure and practice it maybe twice daily. Think in the morning about, you know, what are you grateful for this morning? And in the afternoon, before you go to bed, what am I grateful for now? You'll have a much better night's sleep and it will put you in a better position for the rest of the day. Look for the opportunity. David says I'm shouting. Am I too loud? How do I turn my volume down? Is that better?
Tell the birds
look for the opportunity. There's echo. Does everybody get echo? No? Okay, some of the others don't. Let's
Definitely
go for
birds.
Never mind. You go.
You can hear the birds. So look for the opportunities, point 6. And you know, times like these, this is where opportunity happens. Where innovation happens. So there is a huge amount of opportunity. And we've seen it across our client base, and we've seen it, you know, in our own business. We've seen people innovating. We've seen personal trainers coaching their clients online. We've seen, we've got Alistair Jones on the call. His wife has taken her Pilates online. And, you know, we've started working remotely. And believe me, Andy Tyler is a technophobe beyond what I can begin to imagine. And even he is managing to do Zoom calls with clients remotely. So it's incredible. And look for the innovation, look for the opportunity. Number 7, be the leader. And be the leader, not just in your business. Adam Ruckledge said in our breakout group about one of the things that they've noticed is what their team are looking for from their leadership. And that was really, we had a really interesting conversation there, because people are looking for strength in others at times like these. So if you can stand up, show up, and be the leader, you'll help so many more people. And that might not be being the leader in your business. It might be being the leader in your community. It might be being the leader for your family. But people are looking for strength, and if you can be that person, you will help not just yourself, but many others. Number 8 is look to the future. And again, we talked about this in our first subs meeting. We talked about great leaders having been a bit cross-eyed, having one eye firmly on the future idea, their future goal, their big dream, but one eye firmly in the realism of now and right now. And that's one of those words I can't say with an English accent, so hopefully you still understand me. But be realistic. But remember, we will get through this. We will all get through this, and we'll get through this in one way, shape or form. So you've got to be looking to the future, not focusing on the past and focusing on the negative. So let's think about moving forward as literally just one step in front of the other every single day. Number 9, take the lesson. There's always something to learn. And in the same way as look for the opportunity, it's where's the lesson in this? And I would encourage each and every one of you that whenever you're facing uncertain times or challenging times, you've got to look for where is the lesson in this. And the lesson might be, well, I need better clients, or I need to be a better leader, or there will be something that you can learn and you can evolve with and grow with, because life is about growing and about being and being better. Number 10. Adapt for strength. Now, again, it's got to be, you got to get kind of comfortable with uncertainty. The people that are most comfortable with uncertainty are the people who will manage to move through times like this. The people who are struggling because they want to be in control, they want to know for certain what's going to happen next. They're really finding this very, very difficult. So the more flexible you can be, and again, we used this quote before, didn't we? And I'm not sure that it's quite really Darwin, but it's the quote that says that it's not the strongest nor the most intelligent of the species that survives, but the one most but the one most adaptable to change. And that's so true. So adapt. Think about what you can do differently. Thanks, David. Jumping ahead there. That's brilliant. So adapt and think about what you can adapt. Think about, we talked in our breakout group about what we're going to take from what we've done differently now and we're going to take into the future. And there's so much that we can learn from times like these. And, always with your top 10 tips, there's always going to be a number 11, isn't there? And that is simply provide more value. Look for what you can do to help, and look for what you can do to help, not because you think you're going to get something back from it, but because you can help and things do come back for it. So where can you add value? Where can you add value to people around you, and where can you add value to clients around you? Andrew Thorpe, spinal tap, brilliant. And that's it. Those are my top 10 or maybe 11 tips for surviving and thriving in challenging times. And there we go. Back to David. We've got a special guest today. Now, I know we're in lockdown, and I know that we're meant to be social distancing, but I've managed to get here in the studio, just for today only, our very own head of Keeping It Simple at In Accountancy. And some of you will know who you're going to expect right now, but it's Alex. Come on in. Close the door and keep the dog out. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear Alex?
Yep.
Today I've got some true or false questions for you, just to get a bit of fun in here, get a bit of an atmosphere.
So hold on one second. David, how are we there we go. David's telling us that we're going to have somewhere, if you go into participants, there's a yes or a no,
have a green
or
yes,
a thumbs up, thumbs down.
yeah, or a red no.
So if you can go into your participants, Alex is going to ask you some true or false questions, and you're going to give it a Thumbs up,
Thumbs
or
up
a
for
yes
true.
or a no? Yeah?
Yeah.
So what's the first question, Alex?
True or false? Pirates wore earrings because they thought it improved their sense of smell.
Okay, we've got some, ooh, what are we at? We've got about 50-50 there.
2, 3, 4. Oh, wait,
Whoa.
that's a long list.
Do you know, it really is, it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
Actually, it's false.
They wore them because they thought it improved their eyesight.
What's the next question, Al?
True or false? Hippos have red sweat.
Say that one again, Alex.
Oh, look, you've got eight yeses. Are you able to do it again? Oh, we've got
11 yeses, 10.
At the minute, we've got 12 yeses, 9 no's.
Which, read the question again.
10, 11.
Have we got everybody? It's close on to 50-50 again. So we've got 13 yeses, 8 no's. What is it, Al?
It's true. They do have red sweat.
Fantastic. What's question number 3?
True or false? Termites eat twice as fast while listening to heavy rock music.
Hmm.
Got a lot of yeses and a lot of no's. Oh, a lot more yeses.
A lot more yeses this time.
That is true.
They do?
Yep.
It's like me, I run faster if I'm listening. No, I don't listen to heavy rock. What's number 4, Al? Oh no.
This one's Mum's personal favourite. I hope none of you get offended because, well, it's just Mum, isn't it? Nearly 3% of the ice in Antarctica is penguin piss. Ooh, it's split.
So many people have put no, but they want to
Oh.
say yes.
What are the results looking like there?
It's looking like 15 no's and 11 yeses. So, it is true. So, those of you that said yes, well done.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much. Good way to end. Thanks,
See
Al.
ya. Bye.
I'm going to hand back to Sarah for the final word. Over to you,
Thanks,
Sarah.
David. I think I've unmuted myself. I think the bin men have gone now. So anyway, listen, thank you all. I would appreciate the feedback because it was very early this morning whenever I understood the format. And originally, whenever David asked me for a quote or for something for the final word, I thought about this quote, but I've mentioned it already. So perhaps there was something else. David, something else? You know, life always waits for some crisis to occur before revealing itself at its most brilliant. And actually, I think that says so much. And I think that if we focus on the challenging times and the difficulties that we're all facing, that we won't evolve, we won't innovate, we won't grow. But actually, if we can use the challenging times that we're in now to reflect, to think, to innovate and to grow, I think we can have some brilliant times ahead. There will be tough times. Of course there will be tough times, but tough times don't last forever, and tough people, as we know, do. So I hope that I've got a whole lot of tough people on the call, and I look forward to connecting with you all in real life whenever this is all over. So thank you very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to getting your feedback. As David says, it's really important. So thank you, folks. And you can all unmute now if anybody has anything to say.
And when's the next meeting, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. Next meeting is going to be on Friday, the 22nd of May. So